here's the live trace settings. It's good if you go quite close up so you can see what you're working with. So I often create my own settings. I think that fills can make things quite complicated, so I try and work with strokes. So I take the fills option off and I just use strokes. And then you have to kind of think about what these things mean, which will help you a little bit in sort of working out what's going to look good. So this is quite thin lines in this drawing, so you need to make sure that the minimum area is really low. So anything that's even as small as 1 pixel will be detected by the software. And the fitting kind of means how close it will match what's originally there. The minimum stroke length is, as it sounds, the minimum stroke length. 20 pixels is quite long, so you want to make that short because, again, there's lots of little details, little things that are happening in here that you'd want it to pick up. Maximum stroke weight seems fine because these lines are quite thin again. So you can test it with a preview. This is the point where the computer breaks down. As you can imagine, like that Converse one that I showed you, that was A2 black and white that had to scan all of those lines, and sometimes it can be like this. That's why you have to have lots of RAM in your computers. So you can see here, it's not perfect. Like, because I've selected like a minimum stroke weight that's pretty low, it's created these little circles. But you can tweak those, but I'm going to leave it as it is just to sort of show the next step, which is colouring. So now we have a thing that is being read by Illustrator as vectors. We need to expand it, which is that little button at the top. And then we can have the fun live paint. Thinking about it. So now I can go into this document and fill and colour all of the parts within the document. So I learned a trick. Yeah, you can fill anything within this document. Just do it quickly. And it's much quicker, I think, than Photoshop personally. And also, you can, with Photoshop, it will eat anything around it. So whenever you change something, you essentially like degrade the image. And then also, if you wanted to, once you'd filled it in, you could remove the outline, and you'll have more of a graphic image. So that's a really good way of, like, if you wanted to at home or with the laptops you've got in college. With the black and white scans, start taking them into Illustrator, and then obviously you can expand this as well and start to actually move things around. So if you wanted to move that M up or down, you could select it, move it around, start creating new layers, recolor anything as many times as you want to, put gradients in there, like pretty much anything your heart desired you could do in Illustrator just as much as in Photoshop, but I think with more parameters. So yeah, that's just a kind of quick way of making a black. This is what I do with all my drawings when they go into Illustrator. You just got to make sure that your lines are nice and clean, that they always join up, that there are no gaps, and you have the potential to change your drawing much more. And if someone said, oh, you spelt something wrong, there's no like going back and erasing something with a fluffy paintbrush. You can actually just go and rescan it, delete what was wrong, and then pop it right back in the right place. So yeah, sorry, that was just a quick introduction.